How's it going, chat? Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. Yo, Till, how's it going? Okay, that's good. Yo, Madara, how's it going? Tutorial on how to do gesture drawing? With gesture drawing, you want to find the relation between all the different body parts. So, like, if you've got 3 circles, the relation between the 3 of them is like is just a single curve like that, right? In the case of the body, you can split it in the skull, the rib cage, and then you've got the pelvis. The relation between these is the same that we had with the circles. You can just draw a singular line between them. So when you're doing the gesture, you basically have to look at how these 3 body parts are positioned in relation to each other. So like if the head is over here, rib cage is over there, and the hips are over there, so let's say it looks like that. In this case, the gesture just follows that line, and then you can have another line go this way. But the thing about gesture is that it's also kind of art style based, although that's kind of a more advanced thing. Alright, so the thing is, we're going to be practicing, or well, I'm going to be practicing, I don't know what you guys are going to be doing, but I'm going to be practicing water bottles, because that's what I set the homework for this week to be at. So let me just find a reference for it. I think out of all of the homework exercises, this is probably the hardest one, and like it's such a simple object that you wouldn't expect it. Yeah, I guess this works fine. All right, let's see what we can do. Maybe start by having it go that way. I think something that's also really annoying with drawing these bottles is making sure that these lines are more or less perfect. Like that has to be perfectly vertical. This horizontal line has to be perfectly horizontal, as well as create a 90-degree angle with the first line that I drew, because this is going to be the minor or major axis, and then that's the minor axis. Yeah, so I'm gonna have it kind of facing toward us. So let's do second one right there. And then I need to have... Need to have that. Okay, there we go. Right now, I'm also trying to become more mindful with how I'm drawing these lines, instead of just quickly drawing them. Because I've noticed when practicing these like ellipses, cylinders and water bottles and stuff, it's really hard to like make them look right if you don't pay attention to how you're drawing your curves. And I guess the straight lines are also really important for making sure your proportions are correct, because right here I can already see that this one is slightly bigger than that, which means that the ellipse is going to be slightly off. And then I think this dome at the top is like the most annoying thing to draw. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Okay. Then having to think about how this stuff like overlaps is also kind of annoying. I think Scott Robertson's book would actually help a bit with this, because I think he does cover these forms. I just need to find where this center is. How would I do that? Because I can draw the plane just on the side, and then do that. So I guess as long as that falls in the curve, then that's good enough. Also, if somebody in chat is doing the bottle exercise as well, in terms of proportions, the cap is usually like half the width of it. So that's always one that you should measure out. I think it'll still... I think this should be a little bit higher, like right there. Okay, I think that should work. Why am I drawing tilted? I need to make sure that this thing stays vertical so that I can draw these like horizontal lines. Because if I'm drawing it when it's like that, it's pretty easy to make a mistake in how you're angling your lines. Because this, from this angle, this looks like a 90-degree angle to me. But if I measure it, it's slightly off. So by tilting it, it actually works. And also, it's easier to draw lines going in certain directions. Or well, it's easier to draw lines going in the direction that your arm is used to drawing in. And I've been practicing a lot of vertical lines going from top to bottom. And then for curved lines, I've been working on this curve specifically. So I'm always trying to curve it so that I get to draw those types of lines. Bottles usually have this like, they have this like extra lip here at the bottom, right below the cap, which is also super annoying to draw because it's a slightly wider ellipse than the other ones, but it still has to follow like the same degree. Aren't gesture and figure drawing kind of the same thing, or are they sort of in the same type of drawing family? Gesture and figure drawing, they are in the same type of drawing family, but they're not the same thing. Figure drawing is essentially everything that has to do with drawing the figure. So all types of gesture drawing are considered figure drawings, but not all figure drawings are considered gesture drawings. With gesture, you're literally just focusing on the rhythm of the body parts. Whereas if you're doing figure drawing, you can also focus on the perspective, you can focus on the anatomy specifically. And that is actually a misconception that I've seen a lot of people have, where they think gesture drawing and figure drawing are just the same thing. So when they practice, or when people tell them to practice figure drawing, they think it means practice gesture drawing, so they just keep practicing that over and over and they don't end up getting better. Oh, Azrael, how's it going? Why is 5-point perspective easier than 3-point? Because the more you're dealing with heavier perspectives, the easier it is to cheat. It's I think it's similar to when you're like, when you're drawing these super crazy perspectives where You know, let's say somebody's arm is really close to the camera. But then the rest of their body is super far away, so then everything here gets like really small. When you're doing stuff like that, it's easy to say that it looks good, but these proportions are probably incorrect. So I think a similar thing there is going on with 5-point perspective. Yo, Juanito Pelotas, how's it going? Okay, there we go. Those curves are so annoying to draw. It's just genuinely easier. A box in 5-point doesn't break you like a 3-point. It might be the curves then. You might have an easier time drawing curves than you do straight lines. What's the best way to draw a head? I don't think there is a best way. Because when it comes to like drawing anything, it just depends on how good your perspective and anatomy skills are. So like there is no best method when it comes to drawing anything. This is gonna be a really... Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be a really long bottle. Rehydrate! Oh, rehydrate, chat. There we go. Straight lines don't fit because you're not straight. Oh yeah, I'm not playing Monster Hunter today because figured I just want to get the practice out of the way and then I can work on the other stuff that I'm working on. But next time I'll probably play some more Monster Hunter. What does rehydrate do? It means you need to drink water. Or whatever you want to drink, I guess. Okay. Oh yeah, they showed the Switch 2 presentation today. I don't know if you guys watched that. But looks pretty cool. New From Software game that I'm pretty excited about. Exclusive to the Switch 2, which is kind of unfortunate. It's right here. I think they also showed that games are, like physical games on the Switch 2 are going to cost like $90, which is insane. Oh, this is way off. Look how much bigger this line is compared to this one. I don't know how I keep making those measuring mistakes. For the point commands, there is rehydrate. Yeah, there's posture, falcon punch. I think if you do ! redeem space L, it's the Leroy Jenkins soundbite. Will I ever make a common mistakes that XCal makes? Maybe. $90 is crazy. It's absolutely insane. I mean, like, the good thing is that digital games are $10 cheaper, but I mean, $80 isn't much better. Yo, Isabella, how's it going?
Check your posture.
Posture check, chat. Make sure you're not gamer leaning. Yeah, this is a really long bottle. Yo, Leagues of Legends. Nice cylinders. Thank you. God, why are these things so annoying to draw? I hate it. And the worst part is you can find ellipses pretty much everywhere. Like basically as common as boxes. If your finger is risking muscle strain and nerve pain from drawing too much, you switch to using your toes. Well, you know what they say, no pain, no gain. I say just keep doing it. If it's no pain, no gain, then clearly, if you're actually in pain, that means double XP. What do I think is the most common mistake that artists make? I think I talked about this on a previous stream. What was it that I said? I think it had something to do with line work. Most common mistake is that people worry too much about using line weight and they don't focus on actually controlling their lines. You think you gained enough, let you be free. No, there's no escape. I could try a 3-point, or I guess 2-point perspective in the case of cylinders. See how that goes. Oh, you did 3 drawings instead of 1? If you were able to do 3, that means you were also able to do 5. So, by the sound of it, it doesn't sound like you suffered enough. You suck at line confidence. Lines are like the one thing that takes hours and hours of practice. Because with everything else, you can learn it decently quickly. It's just a matter of studying what you need to study and then practicing it. Whereas with lines, it's something you have to practice day in, day out. You rolled a 1. Do a 5-point? Nope. If someone wants to learn anatomy, should they start practicing each body part separately or practice doing full body straight away? If you want to learn anatomy, you should do it part by part. Eventually you do have to put it together, but that's kind of a different practice. What can you do with these points? You can play one of like 4 different sound bites. Watching a lot of my videos, but have I ever made a video about characters' height? Not in perspective. What do you mean by height? Just proportions? I need to figure out how to determine where the center is. No pain, no gain. Go through the pain of 5 points. I can give it a try. Wait a second, this is not half, is it? That's not. That's why it looked off. That's enough gambling. I mean, you're only 1,000 points off from first place on the leaderboards. Use the rectangles as reference for the center. The problem is that the top of this thing, it's this like curved dome shape, and you can't really use a rectangle on this shape. I guess the way I'd be able to do that probably is if I place the rectangle down here and then extend it up. But then the issue is I don't know how far this is supposed to go, or like how far it's supposed to overlap the cylinder up here. This needs to be slightly more angled. Some of these bottles look 3D. Hold on. Let me test something. That's a common mistake art YouTubers make. I was gonna say getting into drama, but I actually really enjoy the drama. So like, keep doing that. In fact, do it more. I think the most common mistake art YouTubers make is nobody talks about perspective. Like, I only ever see people talk about different methods for drawing something. Your methods aren't gonna change anything, man. Just talk about the perspective. Do I only speak in my shorts, or do I have someone hired to speak for me on videos/streams? Yes. Alright, yeah. What was I gonna try? Wait, so let me try to construct a dome, because I want to see how that works. So I would need a... This is probably kind of a waste of time, because like eyeballing it is good enough. But I'm just curious. Actually, this plane should be shorter. Yeah, of course, these are also not vertical. Are you serious? No. Man, I thought I was past this. Okay. So let's see, I need to draw the X's. Find the center planes. That goes there, okay. So then from here, it's basically connect those. So they don't get into enough drama. Yeah, exactly. It's like in every other community, people are constantly getting into drama, but then in the art community, it's only like occasionally that there's some drama, and those are like my favorite videos to put on in the background. Yo, Freddy Fanbear, how's it going? Teach perspective so my viewers can draw different bedroom positions in multiple angles. That's actually a video idea. And that is actually going to be a homework exercise now that I think about it. The Ghibli trend is a massive drama at the moment. What's the Ghibli trend? I'm also doing pretty good, Freddy. Because I think the most recent one that I saw was, I think Sam Does Arts made a video about Ross draws using AI in his art. That was pretty fun. Wait a second. Wait, what did I do? I was wondering why this thing looked off. This is not the center. Oh my god. Yeah, okay, that one's ruined. I'm not redoing that. And we're moving on. People are turning IRL photos into Ghibli through AI? Yo. Oh, is that where the gif of Miyazaki came from? Where he's like, what did he say again? Man, I can't remember. The creator of Ghibli doesn't support that? Yeah, that's I can imagine that. Oh yeah, that's what it was. He called it an insult to life. Yeah, good. Maybe now something's gonna change. Now that we have the backing of the big dogs. So many people are doing it that the GPT servers are melting. That's so weird. Like, why would people do that? It's not like you're going to benefit from it in any way. Can't seem to draw. Really want to learn, but I can't figure it out. If you want to learn how to draw, I would suggest just finding some art from artists that you like, and then just copying it. Because you can learn the fundamentals right off the bat, but I don't think that's very optimal. Or, well, you know, objectively it is the most optimal way to improve, but it's hard to continue with drawing if that's how you started. Nothing's really changing. Have I seen Reddit community supporting AI like crazy? Yeah. I mean, Miyazaki, he is kind of built different though, so you know, maybe he's the hero we need. If he backs artists and nothing changes, we're cooked, yeah. Actually, I should probably put it on the side over here. Haven't drawn in a while, but here to motivate yourself again. In that case, pick up your pencil right now. Pick it up right now and do what I'm doing. Probably do that and do that. Yo, Zarocto, how's it going? It's more fun to draw yourself as a Ghibli character anyways. That was very simple and beautiful. Miyazaki has to save us because Ross betrayed the community. This one is actually kind of ridiculous because that would be... Don't understand what I'm doing. Yo, Floating Fairy, how's it going? Hold on a second. So I've got that. Then from here, we've got major axis, and then either side of the major axis you mark that. Whoa, what? Hold on, do I actually have to draw a box? Also know another trend that was ruined by generative AI, but it died already. Which trend was that? Whenever you try drawing, it's like you can't picture it, like you have an idea, but when you draw, your mind stops. Well, it's probably because you don't know the things that you actually have to pay attention to, like fundamental wise. Because if you don't know how to set up a perspective grid, or I'm actually getting ridiculously confused here. So if you don't know how to set up a perspective grid or know how the horizon line works and stuff, and you haven't worked on construction, then, you know, whatever your mind is picturing is kind of just like a dream. You know, you can't, you can sort of picture it, but you can't concretely put it to paper. This make me do mental gymnastics. Yeah, this is actually ridiculous. Because I think, yeah, the major axis has to be like that. Try to restart the fire of art in your heart, and trying to write the story. Okay. I don't know if you're already in our Discord server, but we do have a section for comics. So maybe check that out. And be sure to rehydrate, chat. I think AI has its pros and cons. I mean, I think so too. But what doesn't have its pros is the people using it. Still need to edit down 1 hour of the first half of the Lethal stream? Oh, Jesus. But you got another video with 69 views? Oh, nice. Good job. Was a trend where there were 5 colors representing emotions, and artists drew themselves with those colors to express stuff like sadness or anger. Ah. Oh yeah, you can probably do that with different characters as well. This just means I gotta practice it more, yeah. The thing is, you don't have to draw this, or like draw a 5-point or curvilinear perspective that often anyway, so it's more beneficial to practice the other perspectives. Oh yeah, I need to make a Discord command for that. You already have a story and old sketches of some panels? Oh, in that case, you're well on your way to finishing it. Do I have any tips on putting an idea into a drawing perspective? The main thing is you just have to start with a horizon line and then decide how you want things to be rotated, which will place your vanishing points. And then once you've got that, you need to decide how things are foreshortened. And then you can draw whatever you want. But that's all pretty complicated stuff. So it's, you know, I would just recommend learning art from like the basics. You ordered another Pokemon box for another video? Oh, you mean the Pokemon TCG? With 5 points you get all the perspectives, so technically you are practicing all of them at once. Well, it's a little different because of how it curves. So the proportions in that will appear different than they do in other perspectives. Yeah, that is too far away. It could work if I do that. Although that might be a bit too much. I guess we'll see. Oh, it is for the TCG? Okay. Wasn't there, when they, like, when they released the most recent TCG pack, wasn't there something crazy about, scalpers just buying all of those packs as soon as they were available? Yeah, it's too wide. It trains the brain. Bought an 18-year-old box and got a net positive of 40-ish euros from that. Oh, nice. Yeah, this is ridiculously long. I've also been kind of tempted to get back into a TCG, but I think it's hard to find one that fits the criteria that I'm looking for. How do you earn money as an artist? I think like if you're not doing it professionally, I think the most common way is just to do commissions for other people. Although technically it depends on how hard you're able to grift, because I think I've seen some people come up with really crazy ways of earning art, or earning money through art. If one person bought every single one they can get their hands on with bots, yeah, of course they did. So ridiculous, man. Like, there's no way they actually make money off of that. So like, why even bother? It's just ruining it for everybody else. We have a scrap pack opening stream / video. Yeah, the idea was to do that at some point, but if I don't have an audience that watches TCGs, then you know there's not really much point. You commission me to finally draw buff Hello Kitty. Yeah, I mean, if you drop a 20, a 30, I'll give you a buff Hello Kitty. There is a chance, but it's basically gambling. I'm curious to see what these scalpers are gonna do with the Switch 2, because I'm sure they're gonna try. Sure they're gonna try to like buy up everything some way, but apparently Nintendo is trying to take measurements to prevent that, where I think you can only order from their website if you have a certain amount of like play hours on your Nintendo account, as well as you have to have owned Switch Online for like over a year or something, or 2 years. I'm not sure. So I guess that's one way of doing it. We'll see if it actually works. I'm negotiating. No, man, this is just business. I'm giving him my rates. If he can pay, then we're doing it. About the April Fool's video, how does the mistake actually look? So if you have the pelvis, So the way I imagine the mistake would be is if you have the aces point right there, just attaching the leg directly from it. Directly from it like that. Whereas if you want to fix it, you got to make sure that it actually goes down first before it comes back out. The music is a vibe. Need to switch to buy a Switch too. I think it's only for pre-orders. Like they're opening pre-orders early for people that have a Switch and have Switch Online as well as a certain amount of play hours. And then I'm imagining maybe somewhere in like mid-April they'll open it up to everybody. But that way the people that really want one can already get their pre-orders in. Whereas the scalpers, you know, they gotta just hold the L. Haven't seen me myself in a while. What happened to him? I'm sure he's still alive somewhere. Yo, Abdi, how's it going? So basically you do legs completely wrong. It's a very subtle thing. But yeah, like if you place the legs that close to the aces, then usually your other proportions don't really make any sense anymore. Just watch me draw a pelvis while you can't even draw a face. I mean, honestly, these bottles are way more difficult than the pelvis. You've been almost a complete day in my streams. I wish I could customize this stuff a bit more, or YouTube would allow you to customize it a bit more, so that I could give people like special badges for doing certain things. Yo, Selena, how's it going? I was also looking into crowd control the other day, which is this program that that you can use on Twitch and YouTube, where your viewers can use coins to make certain things happen in a game you're playing. So if I'm streaming like Dark Souls, for example, then viewers can make my health go down to like 1. Or they can give me souls and that sort of stuff. So I figured that would be pretty fun to do at some point, but I think you have to actually pay real money to get those coins, which sucks. This means I gotta practice my bottle fundamentals, yeah. Hear it all the time in Poker Rogue. Oh, you play Poker Rogue still? Played the game for a little bit, but I think it got a little too repetitive at some point. Yo, Kaleido, how's it going? Alright, Azrael, thanks for stopping by. Have a good night. Crowd control lethal. Yeah, lethal is also one of the games you can play with crowd control. But yeah, I think you have, if you're not streaming on Twitch primarily, because I think on Twitch viewers can get coins from being like Amazon Prime subscribers and stuff, and I think you can also give them coins for free on Twitch, but on YouTube I don't think that's the case, so we're kind of screwed. Yeah, every so often. I've actually been playing through a Pokemon Platinum mod, or ROM hack, called Pokemon Platinum Redux. I've been playing that occasionally, but like it's a pretty fun mod of Platinum. Only thing is, it's actually kind of difficult, like to the point where I'm actually losing the majority of my battles. Where'd I get my name from? From Excalibur. Saw a stream once where every time someone subscribes, the in-game character does a roll. That's pretty interesting. I wanted to do something with Nier Automata because I've been thinking of like I want to speedrun it. Yeah, I want to speedrun it because I've tried speedrunning it in the past, but I was thinking if I'm gonna try running that game, it'd be cool if chat could also do stuff or make stuff happen in the game. Yeah, Repo. We're still going to play Repo on Saturday. If you can contact the squad again and see who wants to play, that'd be great. Maybe we should go learn how to stream on Twitch. Is bottle shading different from other shadings, like compared to flatter objects? Well, because with bottles, you're dealing with cylinders. And when it comes to cylinders, you get a gradual change in value. So if we say that the light is over here, as soon as the plane starts facing away from it more and more, it gets darker and darker until eventually it's at the point where it's what's the word? Where the light direction is perpendicular to the direction the plane is pointing, and at that point the entire thing will be in shadow. So it has very, I guess, very normal, like, cylinder shading. Always found the concept that Doug does interesting. Yeah, the stuff he does is pretty great. You got me, Camarada, that guy, you, Minka, and Ollie. Okay, that works. I think Repo also caps at 6 players by default, doesn't it? Or does it go up to more than that? I think from now on, I'm actually going to start using the black background when I'm doing these because my eyes are starting to hurt staring at the white screen. Six for base, but there are mods for it that increase it. Okay, that works then. Because I don't think we'll be playing with mods if nobody else is familiar with the game. Might be a bigger multiplayer mod. Have I done draw bots? I've tried going through it a couple times. I started learning how to draw using Drawbox actually. But every time I try to go through it, I usually get to the insect drawing lesson and then I kind of stop. Yeah, this one's off. Because that lines up, that more or less does, this doesn't. Played a little bit, but didn't get far because you got camped all the time by the good coded AI at the end of the levels. Yeah, I've watched a little bit of gameplay of Repo. Not too much that I actually know how to play it, so it'll be interesting. I don't think we'll be able to see that. Man, I'm making it too long. I'm trying to foreshorten it, but my guesses on where I should place these is always like slightly off. You can still gamble. Yeah, of course you can gamble. Okay. Oh, yeah, this does actually remind me that I should play Guilty Gear. Or do another Guilty Gear stream soon. What have I done so far? I did that. Let's do... Let's do this. I'm gonna place it there, and then I'm gonna attempt to make it pretty wide. Now, I really wanted to add the Cloud Point reward system with the gambling to our Discord server, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. Actually, I don't think there's an option to do it even. It sucks, man. And then I was also looking at different reward systems or point reward systems for Discord, but none of the other ones seem particularly interesting. kind of scary when playing alone, even when expecting what's coming. Oh god. The gambling addiction is starting again. Is there a problem with the addiction as long as you're winning? Because, I mean, it sounds like it's only a problem when you're losing. Wait, you got 4 items to 13,000 combined? What the fuck? Wait, no, that's not right. That's that. That has to be there. Are you actually selling the TCG cards or just keeping them? Oh yeah, also I recently discovered that Lego announced they're going to be doing Pokemon sets next year, or start doing them next year, for possibly the next couple of years. I am kind of interested in that, but Lego does overprice their stuff like crazy. So I'm not looking forward to that. Although the good thing about the like the Lego Pokemon sets, I guess, is that Mega was also making their own like brick build Pokemon sets. So we have something to compare it to, because usually Lego is kind of, you know, they have the monopoly, so they can just do whatever they want. And they can get away with pricing their stuff and designing it however they want. But now, at least we can we have like something to compare it to. I'm gonna sell them eventually. Okay. Because I think Pokemon is like one of the only TCGs where I think the cards do actually retain their value, even if they're not actively being played. Because I know with Yu-Gi-Oh, cards are valuable as long as they're in the meta, and then as soon as people stop playing them, they instantly drop. Well, as soon as they stop playing them, as well as reprint them. Something about this looks wrong. Okay, let me see. So that's correct. That's good. That's that. Yeah, it's the way these things are curving. Yeah, Lego's overpriced as heck. I think I'm not collecting Lego sets anymore. I used to be really into it as a kid, but like now, I'm not terribly impressed with the sets they're putting out now because a lot of the stuff they're doing is just these like display sets and licensed themes, which I'm not a huge fan of. But they did have a Ninjago set pretty recently, which was like this big mech, which actually looks really cool. Magic the Gathering 2? Oh, okay. Yo, Ethan, how's it going? How do you think about organic shapes in perspective? That's what I'm wondering too. Well, the thing, even organic shapes can be put into a box. Hold on. I think this side is slightly shorter than this side, which is why that looks weird. Even organic shapes can be put inside of a box. So it just becomes a matter of thinking about a box that's constantly around it, and then you have to think about which parts are closer to us and which parts are further away. I think I might have also made the cap a little bit too tall for how wide this is. Let's try 2-point perspective going up. So this... In fact, that's probably too wide. Yeah, when are they doing Lego The World Ends With You? Or Lego Kingdom Hearts? That's what I really want. No problem, Boomy. It's really just getting better at drawing boxes. That's really all perspective is. Like, just getting good enough at drawing boxes to the point where you can like, or where your intuition gets good enough to the point where you can kind of imagine where those boxes are and how big things should be and how things should foreshorten. Be trying the tips tomorrow. When am I streaming again? Well, definitely streaming on Saturday, which is when we're going to play Repo. Maybe I'll stream tomorrow. But no guarantees about that. Yeah, I'm definitely... Huh, that's so weird. I think in this case I made it a bit too wide. But no, that's not... Well, I might have made it a bit too wide. It's pretty weird. Oh, wait a second. I think Monster Hunter Wilds... it's getting a new update on either April 3rd or April 4th. I'm not sure what the date is because of time zones. I think it's the 3rd in Japan, and then... Well, if it's the 3rd in Japan, it has to be the 3rd everywhere else, too. Yeah, I'm not sure, but it's either tomorrow or on Friday. I would imagine probably on Friday. But yeah, when Monster Hunter is getting that update, I'm definitely going to be streaming again. Alright, good night, Freddy. Thanks for watching. Or maybe I should have made it foreshorten faster. Because that definitely would have made it longer. Now, Floating Fairy are also leaving? Alright. Have a good night, Floating Fairy. I think I'm also going to end stream right after this. Editing does take forever. It's pretty annoying. I'm also working on a video that's supposed to come out halfway through April. But I still got a lot I need to do for that. Alright, Kaleido, thanks for stopping by. Have a good night. Alright, chat. With that, I think I'm going to call it a stream as well. Not particularly happy with the results. Think it could have been better for sure. But that's why we practice. I think if I do this for one more session, I think I think I should be good enough to move on. Alright, like I said, Monster Hunter Wilds, getting an update. I'm not sure when... Actually, hold on, let me look it up now. I would imagine it's on Friday, because that's also when the game came out. Update 1. Ah, it is on Friday. No, that sucks. Gotta wait 2 more days? Oh well. Alright, chat. Thank you guys for watching. I guess I'll stream again on Friday, then we'll do some drawing, then move on to Monster Hunter. And then on Saturday we've got Repo. Alright, thank you guys for watching, and have a good night.